They say the sound of money has changed. It used to be the crisp snap of a dollar bill, the clink of a coin against your palm, the weight of something real, something you could touch, fold, hide, carry, protect. But today, the sound of money is silent, invisible. A fingerprint on a screen, a number shifting in a server farm, a balance that can be edited with a click, and in that silence, millions of people around the world are asking the same question quietly, nervously, often when no one else is listening. If cash disappears, what happens to me? You may not feel it yet, but the world you grew up in is already gone. A world where cash was king, where financial independence meant what you held in your hand, where no institution could freeze the notes in your pocket. Bit by bit, quietly, deliberately, cash has been shrinking not just in popularity, but in existence. Stores refuse it. Governments discourage it. Banks make it harder to withdraw. And every year, a new wave of people wakes up to a reality they never expected to question: what happens when money stops being physical? To understand the fear, you must first understand the pattern. Cash doesn't disappear overnight. It disappears the way power shifts in a palace, strategically, through decisions made in rooms far from the public eye. First, the convenience argument. Digital payments are faster. Then the safety argument. Cash is used by criminals. Then the efficiency argument. Digital money reduces costs. Then the control argument, never spoken aloud, but always lurking beneath everything. Digital money can be monitored, tracked, frozen, reversed. And once society moves far enough down this path, the question changes from, is cash disappearing? To, was this always the plan? Imagine a city where 98% of all transactions happen digitally, no coins, no notes, no bills. That city already exists. It's called Stockholm. In Sweden, many shops refuse cash. Many banks no longer carry it. Even public transportation has abandoned it. In China, entire generations buy food, pay rent, borrow money, and tip street performers using only QR codes. In Denmark, cash usage is so low that the central bank has openly discussed whether physical money is even necessary. Meanwhile, in countries like Australia, Singapore, the UK, Canada, and the United States, the percentage of cash used in daily life has fallen to historic lows. Not because people chose it, but because systems evolved to make the choice for them. But here's the question the world rarely asks. If cash disappears, what do we lose? Let's rewind. Not to the future but to the past. Cash protected people long before they knew they needed protection. In authoritarian regimes, cash was survival when governments seized accounts. In war zones, cash was life when systems collapsed. In Argentina, when banks froze deposits in 2001, the only money people could rely on was the cash they physically held. In Cyprus, in 2013, savings vanished overnight through bail-ins. And citizens discovered that digital money could legally be taken with no warning. In Lebanon in 2019, depositors begged on the streets outside banks, watching their digital balances turn into meaningless numbers. In Nigeria, when the government unexpectedly limited cash withdrawals in 2023, people waited in days-long lines just to access their own money. For centuries, cash was the one form of value that could not be altered, manipulated, or deleted by a keystroke. Digital money changed that. It gave institutions unprecedented power. The power to track every transaction. The power to record every purchase. The power to freeze accounts. The power to enforce political decisions with financial consequences. And the moment cash disappears fully, the power becomes absolute. But before fear clouds the story, let's explore the other side of the mystery. Because the disappearance of cash is not simply a conspiracy, it is also a consequence of something much bigger. Technology reshaped human behavior. Smartphones replaced wallets. Apps replaced ATMs. Speed replaced tradition. And convenience became the new currency. People did not stop using cash because they feared it. They stopped using cash because the world offered a faster alternative. Governments did in. T pushed digital money because they wanted control, least not at first but because digital systems reduce costs, fight counterfeiting, and simplify administration. Banks didn't eliminate cash because they hated it. They eliminated cash because maintaining it is expensive and unprofitable. So, the truth isn't simple. It never is. It never is. Cash is disappearing because people stopped demanding it, because corporations stopped supporting it, because governments stopped encouraging it, and because digital life captured the world before anyone realized what was being traded away in exchange for convenience. The real fear is not that cash is disappearing. The real fear is what its disappearance makes possible. Imagine a future where every transaction, every coffee, every medical bill, every gift, every movement of money is permanently recorded. A future where algorithms detect suspicious spending patterns. A future where financial penalties can be applied instantly. A future where dissent is discouraged not by force, but by freezing access. A future where privacy becomes a luxury instead of a right. This future is not fiction. In many places, it is already reality. But that does not mean the disappearance of cash is inevitable, or that it is inherently dangerous. The truth sits in the middle of a long and complicated story, because every shift in history, every revolution in finance has created winners and losers. Cash gave power to individuals. Digital money gives power to institutions. And what society must decide is how much power is too much. The disappearance of cash is a transformation, not a doom prophecy. Some nations are exploring central bank digital currency CBDCs that promise efficiency but also raise new concerns about surveillance and programmability. Others are seeing the rise of cryptocurrencies, digital assets outside government control, offering new forms of sovereignty and risk. Some people embrace the digital revolution. Others cling to physical cash as a symbol of freedom. And somewhere between these extremes lies the truth. The future of money will not be one or the other. It will be both, interlinked, interdependent, constantly shifting. So, should you be afraid? Fear is only useful when it reveals what needs to be protected. And the disappearance of cash forces us to ask, what is money without privacy? What is value without autonomy? What is wealth without the ability to move it freely? What is ownership when your access to funds can be modified at will? These questions matter more than ever. And if this exploration made you see the world differently, consider subscribing to the Economic Rewind Vault, because every episode uncovers another hidden truth about the systems shaping your life. In our next Rewind, we re-step into one of the most controversial questions in modern finance. Is the decline of physical money opening the door to the rise of programmable currencies? The answer might redefine everything you think about control, freedom, and the future of money. See you in the next Rewind.